Dr. Amanda Clark rubbed her tired eyes and stared at the computer screen again. The numbers made no sense. After 20 years of listening to space for alien signals, she had found nothing but cosmic noise and dead silence. But tonight was different. Tonight something was talking back. The signal came from Proxima Centauri, the closest star to Earth. It was not random noise. It had patterns, like someone was trying to send a message. Amanda's hands shook as she typed commands into her computer. The signal was strong and clear, much stronger than anything humans could send across space. She called her assistant, Dr. Ben Carter, who was sleeping in the next room. "Ben, wake up. You need to see this right now." Ben stumbled into the control room, still wearing his pajamas. His hair stuck up in all directions. "What's wrong, Amanda? It's 3 a.m. Look at this signal. It's not natural. Something intelligent made this." Amanda pointed at the screen where green lines danced up and down like a heartbeat. Ben sat down and studied the data. His sleepy expression changed to shock. "This is impossible. The signal is using advanced math, way beyond what we expected from any alien race. But look at this part here." He pointed to a section of the signal. "These numbers match Earth's position in space perfectly." Amanda felt cold fear creep up her spine. "They know where we are." The two scientists worked through the night, trying to decode the alien message. As the sun rose, they began to understand what they were seeing. The signal contained star maps showing the location of Earth and other planets. It had detailed information about Earth's gravity, atmosphere, and temperature. But there was more. Hidden in the mathematical code were images, grainy pictures that showed Earth from space, pictures of human cities taken from above, pictures of military bases, airports, and harbors. The images were old, maybe 10 or 15 years, but they were definitely Earth. "My God," Ben whispered. "They've been watching us." Amanda's phone rang. The caller ID showed it was Colonel Jake Williams from Earth Defense Command. Her heart pounded as she answered. "Dr. Clark, we've detected unusual transmissions from your facility. What's your status?" "Colonel Williams, we've received a signal from space. It's not good news." Amanda's voice cracked as she spoke. "I'm sending a team to your location immediately. Don't discuss this with anyone else." Within 2 hours, Black vehicles surrounded the research station. Soldiers in dark uniforms set up equipment while Colonel Williams examined the alien signal. He was a tall man with gray hair and serious eyes that had seen too many wars. "How long has this signal been broadcasting?" he asked. "We first detected it 18 hours ago, but our computers show it started 3 days ago. We were running routine maintenance, so we missed the beginning," Amanda explained. Ben had been working on another part of the signal. His face was pale when he looked up from his computer. "Colonel, you need to see this. I found something else in the transmission." The new section of the signal contained more images, but these were different. They showed creatures that were definitely not human. The beings were tall, maybe 8 feet high, with gray skin that looked like armor. They had 4 arms and large black eyes. Their faces had no expression, like looking at a machine. But the worst part was what the creatures were doing in the images. They stood over cages filled with small beings that looked like they might once have been intelligent. Other images showed the creatures processing the caged beings like cattle in a slaughterhouse. "They're farmers," Amanda said quietly. "And we're the crop." Colonel Williams studied the images with growing anger. "Dr. Carter, can you tell what these creatures are capable of?" Ben had been analyzing the biological data in the signal. "Their bodies are much stronger than humans. The data suggests they can lift 10 times more weight than we can. Their skin appears to be natural armor that can stop most weapons. And look at this." He pointed to brain scans in the alien data. "Their mental capacity is enormous. They're probably much smarter than us." "What about their technology?" Williams asked. "Advanced beyond anything we have. Their ships appear to be partly alive, like they grow them instead of building them. The power sources are biological too. They've found a way to mix living tissue with machinery." Amanda had been studying the star charts in the signal. "Colonel, these maps show a path from Proxima Centauri to Earth. If I'm reading this correctly, it's a flight plan. They're coming here." "When?" Williams demanded. Amanda's fingers flew across the keyboard as she calculated distances and speeds based on the alien data. If their ships can travel at the speeds indicated in this signal, they'll reach Earth in about 18 months. The room fell silent. Everyone understood what this meant. Humanity had 18 months to prepare for invasion by creatures that were stronger, smarter, and more advanced. Creatures that saw humans as nothing more than animals to be harvested. Colonel Williams grabbed his radio. "Get me President Martinez immediately. Priority Alpha authorization." As Williams made his call, Amanda stared at the alien signal still streaming across her screen. The creatures had made one mistake. They had sent their message assuming humans would never understand it, never fight back, never be anything more than helpless prey. They had never met humans before. They didn't know that when humans discovered they were going to be hunted, they didn't run and hide. They got angry. They got organized. And they got ready to fight back. Amanda looked at Ben, who was still studying the alien biology data. "Ben, start making copies of everything. Every piece of data, every image, every calculation. If we're going to fight these things, we need to understand them completely." "Already working on it," Ben replied. "But Amanda, look at their advantages. They're stronger, smarter, and their technology is centuries ahead of ours. How can we possibly win?" Amanda smiled grimly as she watched the alien signal continue to pulse across her screen. Because they made the same mistake every predator makes. They assumed their prey would never fight back. They're about to learn that humans are the most dangerous species in the galaxy when we're cornered. Outside, more military vehicles arrived, as Earth's governments began to mobilize. The war hadn't started yet, but humanity's response was already beginning. In 18 months, the aliens would arrive expecting to find helpless cattle ready for slaughter. Instead, they would find humans. And humans didn't go quietly. 3 weeks after the alien signal reached Earth, General Paul Adams stood in the largest military bunker ever built. The underground facility stretched for miles beneath the Colorado mountains. Thousands of people worked day and night preparing for a war that would decide if humanity survived or became alien food. President Lisa Martinez had given Adams complete control of Earth's defense. Every country had agreed to work together. For the first time in human history, there were no wars between nations. Everyone understood that they faced extinction if they failed. "General, the first prototype is ready for testing," said Dr. Lisa Wong, the lead scientist for the Alien Technology Project. She was a small woman with tired eyes, but her mind was sharper than any computer. For 3 weeks she had barely slept, while studying the alien signal data. Adams followed Dr. Wong through the facility's corridors. They passed rooms filled with engineers, soldiers, and scientists from every nation on Earth. In one room, Chinese engineers worked alongside American technicians. In another, Russian physicists shared data with Japanese researchers. The alien threat had united humanity like nothing before. They entered a massive testing chamber where the first human starship floated in anti-gravity supports. The ship was unlike anything built before. It mixed human engineering with alien technology stolen from the signal data. "We call her the UES Defiance," Dr. Wong explained. "She's not as advanced as alien ships, but she has something they don't expect." "What's that?" Adams asked. "Human thinking. The aliens build everything the same way. Their ships follow patterns we found in their signal. But human ships are unpredictable. Each one will be different. The aliens won't know how to fight something. They can't predict." Captain Amy Foster climbed down from the ship's cockpit. She was the best pilot in Earth's Space Force, chosen to test humanity's first real weapon against the aliens. Her flight suit was covered in new technology that connected her mind directly to the ship's systems. "How does she handle, Captain?" Adams asked. Amy smiled. "Like an angry wolf, sir, fast, mean, and ready to bite. The aliens think their biotechnology makes them superior, but they've never seen human engineering pushed to its limits. This ship doesn't just fly, it hunts." In another part of the facility, Sergeant Tony Blake was training the first enhanced combat troops. These soldiers wore armor that made them stronger and faster than normal humans. The armor was powered by small fusion reactors and controlled by advanced computers. "The aliens are physically stronger than us, Tony explained to his trainees. But they've never fought humans who refuse to quit. When an alien thinks the fight is over, we're just getting started. The soldiers practiced fighting in low gravity, preparing for battles in space and on alien worlds. They learned to use weapons that could punch through alien armor and tactics that would confuse creatures who had never faced real opposition. Dr. Karen Lee worked in the psychology department, studying alien behavior patterns found in the signal. She discovered something important about humanity's enemies. The aliens have conquered 47 worlds, she reported to Adams, but every species they defeated gave up quickly. They've never fought a species that gets more dangerous when threatened. They don't understand human anger or determination. What do you mean? Adams asked. Most species become weaker when they're afraid. Humans become more dangerous. The aliens expect us to surrender when we see their superior technology. Instead, we'll fight harder. They're not prepared for that. Meanwhile, engineer Rick Torres was converting Earth's factories to produce weapons and ships. Every automobile plant now built parts for spacecraft. Every electronics factory made equipment. For the war, humanity's entire industrial system was becoming one giant weapon factory. We're building ships faster than anyone thought possible, Rick reported. The aliens probably expect us to have a few dozen ships when they arrive. We'll have thousands. The alien signal had contained technical data about their ships and weapons. Human scientists used this information to build defenses the aliens wouldn't expect. If the aliens used energy weapons, humans built armor that absorbed energy. If aliens used biotechnology, humans created weapons that turned living technology against itself. Dr. Ben Carter had been studying the alien biology data. He made a disturbing discovery. The aliens don't think like individuals, he explained to the research team. They share a group mind. That makes them very organized, but it also makes them predictable. If we can disrupt their mental connection, their coordination falls apart. This led to a new type of weapon. Human scientists developed devices that created mental static, jamming the aliens' shared consciousness. In tests, these weapons made alien biotechnology turn against itself. As the months passed, Earth transformed into a fortress world. Every major city had underground shelters and defense systems. The moon became a military base with massive guns that could shoot across space. Mars was turned into a shipyard, where humanity's space fleet grew larger every day. But the most important change was in humanity itself. The knowledge that aliens saw them as cattle had awakened something primal in human nature. Every person on Earth understood that they were fighting for their species' survival. Colonel Jake Williams now commanded the Orbital Defense Network. Thousands of satellites surrounded Earth, each one equipped with weapons designed to destroy alien ships. The satellites were controlled by artificial intelligence systems that could think faster than any biological brain. The aliens rely on their superior biology, Williams explained to his staff. But they've never developed true artificial intelligence. Our computers can react to threats faster than their living minds can process information. 6 months after the signal's arrival, Captain Amy Foster led the first space battle exercises. Human ships practiced fighting in formations that no alien could predict. They used tactics that seemed crazy but worked against enemies who expected logical behavior. Remember, Amy told her pilots, aliens think efficiency is everything. They don't understand human improvisation. When your weapons fail, use your ship as a weapon. When your ship fails, use yourself as a weapon. Never give up, never surrender, and never let them think they've won. As the alien invasion fleet approached, humanity was ready. Not ready to defend themselves, but ready to show the universe what happened when someone threatened the human race. The aliens had made a fatal mistake. They had given humanity time to prepare, and humans used that time to become something the galaxy had never seen before. A species that didn't just fight for survival, a species that fought to win completely, no matter the cost. The aliens were coming to harvest cattle, but they would find wolves waiting for them instead. The alarm screamed through the command center as radar operators watched their screens in disbelief. The alien scout fleet had arrived 2 months early, appearing near Jupiter like ghosts materializing from the darkness of space. Admiral Susan Gray stood at the command bridge of the UES Defiance, humanity's flagship. She had been expecting this moment for over a year, but her heart still pounded as she watched the alien ships on her display screen. They were beautiful and terrifying at the same time, looking more like massive sea creatures than spacecraft. 15. Alien vessels detected, reported Lieutenant Commander Dan Phillips from his fighter squadron. They're moving toward Earth at incredible speed. Their ships are definitely alive, sir. I can see them breathing. The alien ships pulsed with bioluminescent lights and moved through space like swimming creatures. Each ship was the size of a small city, covered in what looked like scales and breathing organs. They had expected to find a primitive world with no defenses. Instead, they found Admiral Gray's fleet waiting for them. All ships, this is Admiral Gray, she broadcast to the human fleet. Remember your training. These creatures think we're helpless animals. Let's show them what happens when animals fight back. The first alien ship approached Earth's outer defenses near Jupiter. Captain Julie Ross commanded the destroyer UES Vengeance from that position. Her ship was much smaller than the alien vessel, but it carried humanity's secret weapon. Target locked, Ross announced to her crew. Firing relativistic cannon. The weapon was simple but devastating. It accelerated a chunk of metal to 30% of light speed and launched it at the alien ship. The aliens had never seen anything like it. Their organic armor was designed to stop energy weapons and biological attacks, not kinetic projectiles moving at impossible speeds. The metal slug hit the alien ship like a hammer hitting an egg. The massive vessel split apart, its living sections screaming across radio frequencies as they died. Alien blood and machinery scattered across space in a cloud of destruction. The other alien ships stopped moving. For several minutes they floated motionless, apparently trying to understand what had happened to their companion. Lieutenant Commander Phillips seized the opportunity. All fighters, attack formation Gamma. Let's see how they handle human fighter tactics. Phillips led his squadron in an attack pattern that would have been impossible for alien ships to execute. Human fighters were smaller and more agile than anything the aliens had built. They moved like angry wasps, darting between the massive alien vessels and striking at weak points. The aliens tried to respond, but their ships were too large and slow to catch the human fighters. Their weapons were designed to destroy other massive ships, not small, fast-moving targets that attacked from all directions at once. "This is impossible," Phillips heard one of his pilots say over the radio. "These alien ships are huge, but they can't hit us. They're not used to fighting anything smaller than themselves." Dr. Steve Miller had been monitoring the battle from Earth's command center. He had spent months preparing a special surprise for the aliens based on their own signal data. As the battle raged, he activated his secret weapon. "Broadcasting modified. Alien signal now," Miller announced. "Let's see how they like their own technology turned against them." The signal Miller broadcast was based on the original alien transmission, but with important changes. It contained a virus designed specifically for alien biotechnology. The virus spread through the aliens' shared consciousness and began attacking their ships' living systems. Within minutes, the alien ships began turning against themselves. Their organic weapon systems stopped responding to commands. Their breathing apparatus began working in reverse, suffocating the ships instead of feeding them. The living armor that protected them started dissolving. "My God, it's working," Admiral Gray said as she watched the alien fleet tear itself apart. "Their greatest strength is their greatest weakness. Their biotechnology depends on shared biological systems. Corrupt those systems and everything fails." But the aliens were not helpless. The largest ship in their fleet, commanded by Scout Leader Fexthon, managed to resist the virus long enough to launch a counterattack. The ship opened like a flower, revealing weapons that fired streams of acid and biological parasites. The human ship UES Liberty took a direct hit from the alien weapon. Captain Nick Brown watched in horror as the alien acid began eating through his ship's hull. "Hull breach on decks 5 through 7, his engineering officer reported. "The alien weapon is dissolving our armor." Brown made a decision that would have surprised the aliens if they had understood human psychology. Instead of retreating or trying to save his ship, he ordered a ramming attack. "All power to engines," Brown commanded. "If we're going down, we're taking them with us." The UES Liberty accelerated directly toward the alien command ship. The aliens tried to destroy the human vessel before it could reach them, but Brown's crew had shut down all non-essential systems and diverted everything to speed and shields. The collision was spectacular. The human ship, much smaller than the alien vessel, punched through the living hull of the enemy command ship like a bullet. Both ships exploded in a flash of light that could be seen from Earth. Scout leader Vexthon died without understanding what had happened. In his final moments, he tried to comprehend how a smaller, weaker ship had destroyed his vessel. The concept of a suicide attack was completely foreign to alien thinking. The remaining alien ships, now leaderless and infected with the human virus, began to retreat. But Admiral Gray was not finished with them. "All ships pursue the enemy," she ordered. "Don't let any of them escape to report back to their main fleet." The human ships chased the fleeing aliens across the solar system. It became a hunting expedition rather than a battle. The alien ships designed for attacking helpless worlds were no match for human vessels, built specifically for war. Lieutenant Commander Phillips led the final assault on the last alien ship. His fighters swarmed around the dying vessel like angry insects. "This is for every world you've destroyed," Phillips said as he fired the killing shot. When the battle ended, no alien ships remained. The scout fleet that was supposed to prepare Earth for invasion had been completely destroyed. But more importantly, the aliens had learned something they had never experienced before. For the first time in their species' history, they had encountered prey that fought back effectively. The humans had not only survived the first contact, they had won decisively. On Earth, people celebrated in the streets. But in the command centers, military leaders knew this was only the beginning. The scout fleet's destruction would send a message to the main alien invasion force. That message would not be a warning to stay away. It would be a call for more ships, more weapons, and more aliens. The real war was about to begin. Admiral Gray stared at the debris field where the alien ships had died. Somewhere in space, a massive alien fleet was receiving news of their scouts' destruction. Those aliens would be angry, confused, and eager for revenge. They would learn what humans already knew. When you threaten humanity's survival, you don't get a second chance. The alien invasion fleet arrived like a swarm of locusts blocking out the stars. Harvester Prime Zechthal commanded over 3,000 bioships, each one larger than Earth's biggest cities. The alien commander had personally destroyed 47 worlds and enslaved billions of creatures. He expected Earth to fall within days, but Earth was not like the other worlds he had conquered. General Kevin Stone watched from the orbital defense platform as the alien fleet spread across space like a dark cloud. The platform was one of hundreds that surrounded Earth, each one equipped with weapons that could destroy cities. But even with all their preparations, the humans were vastly outnumbered. "Sir, we're detecting massive energy signatures from the alien fleet," reported his communications officer. "They're preparing to bombard the planet." Stone had been expecting this. The aliens always started with planetary bombardment to break the spirit of their enemies, but humans had prepared for this too. "Activate all defense grids," Stone commanded. "Let's show them what a defended world looks like." Thousands of weapons platforms came online around Earth. Laser cannons, missile launchers, and kinetic weapons, all turned toward the approaching alien fleet. But the most important defense was invisible to alien sensors. Captain Nicole Davis commanded the UES Retribution, humanity's newest Dreadnought-class warship. Her vessel was hidden behind the moon, along with the rest of Earth's main battle fleet. The aliens thought they were attacking a helpless world, but they were walking into a trap. "All ships maintain radio silence," Davis broadcast to the human fleet. "Let them think Earth is defenseless until we're ready to strike." The first alien attack began at dawn. Hundreds of bioships fired streams of acid and biological weapons at Earth cities. But instead of hitting defenseless targets, the alien weapons struck energy shields and automated defense systems. The shields absorbed the alien attacks and converted the energy into power for Earth's weapons. Within minutes, the planet's surface was lighting up with defensive fire. Streams of plasma and relativistic projectiles reached into space, striking alien ships with devastating accuracy. Zekthul watched in confusion as his first wave of ships began exploding. In all his conquests, he had never seen a world fight back so effectively. The humans were using their planet as a fortress, something no other species had ever attempted. Impossible. Zekthul growled in his bioship's command chamber. These creatures should be cowering in fear. Instead, they fight like they have nothing to lose. On Earth's surface, Colonel Matt Johnson led ground forces preparing for alien landing parties. His soldiers had been training for over a year, learning to fight creatures that were stronger and faster than humans. But Johnson knew something the aliens didn't. Humans didn't need to be stronger or faster. They just needed to be smarter and more determined. The first alien landing craft broke through Earth's orbital defenses and crashed into major cities around the world. Hundreds of the 8-foot-tall aliens emerged from each ship, their gray armor gleaming and their forearms carrying bioweapons that could dissolve human flesh. But the humans were ready. In New York, alien troops found the city empty except for automated defenses. Every building had been turned into a weapon. Windows exploded outward, firing streams of metal fragments. Streets opened up to reveal hidden gun positions. Even the sewers had been weaponized. The aliens had never fought an enemy that used their entire environment as a weapon. Every step they took triggered new traps. Every building they entered was a maze designed to confuse and destroy them. Colonel Johnson watched the battle from his command center. The aliens are stronger than us individually, but they've never fought humans working as a team. They don't understand that our weakness as individuals becomes strength when we work together. In space, the main battle was reaching its climax. Captain Davis led the human fleet in a surprise attack from behind the moon. The UES Retribution used the moon's gravity to accelerate massive asteroids at the alien fleet. "Target the largest ships first," Davis ordered her weapons crews. "Those command vessels are controlling the smaller ones. Take out the leaders, and the rest will be confused." The human strategy worked perfectly. The aliens had never fought an enemy that used gravity as a weapon or turned asteroids into projectiles. Their bioships were designed to absorb energy attacks, not massive chunks of rock moving at incredible speeds. Dr. Rachel Adams had been working on Earth's secret weapon while the battle raged. She had discovered that the aliens' shared consciousness could be turned against them. Her psychic feedback device was ready for testing. "Activating neural disruptor," Adams announced from her laboratory deep underground. "Let's see how they handle having their mental link scrambled." The device sent a signal that interfered with the aliens' shared mind. Suddenly, creatures that had been working together perfectly began acting confused and disorganized. Ships that had been moving in formation started crashing into each other. Zekthul felt the disruption like a hammer blow to his consciousness. For the first time in his long life, he could not hear the voices of his subordinates. The mental link that made his species so effective in battle had been severed. "How is this possible?" he roared in his empty command chamber. "These primitive creatures have found a way to attack our minds directly?" The battle turned into a disaster for the alien forces. On the ground, their troops were being systematically destroyed by human tactics they could not understand. In space, their fleet was falling apart as ships lost coordination and began attacking their own forces. But Zekthul was not finished. He had survived the destruction of worlds by being more ruthless than any other creature in the galaxy. If he could not conquer Earth, he would destroy it completely. "All ships target the planet's core," he commanded the few vessels still under his control. "If we cannot harvest these creatures, we will ensure they never threaten another world." The aliens began charging their most powerful weapons for a final attack that would crack Earth like an egg. But they had forgotten about humanity's willingness to sacrifice everything for victory. Captain Davis saw what the aliens were planning. "All ships protect Earth at any cost," she broadcast to the human fleet. "Ram the alien command ships if necessary. Don't let them destroy our world." Human ships threw themselves at the alien weapons platforms, sacrificing themselves to protect their home planet. Pilots who could have escaped instead flew their damaged vessels directly into alien gun positions. The final alien weapon fired just as the human ship UES Sacrifice crashed into it. The beam that should have destroyed Earth instead scattered harmlessly into space as both ships exploded in a brilliant flash. Zekthul's bioship, damaged and alone, began retreating toward deep space. The Harvester Prime, who had conquered 47 worlds, was running from creatures he had planned to use as livestock. As his ship limped away from Earth, Zekthul sent a final message to the alien empire. The humans are not what we expected. They fight like demons and die like heroes. Any force sent against them must be prepared for total war. On Earth, humans celebrated their victory, but their leaders knew the real war was just beginning. The aliens would return with larger fleets and more terrible weapons, but humanity had proven something important. They could win. And when humans knew they could win, nothing in the universe could stop them. 6 months after defeating the alien invasion, humanity was no longer the same species that had first received the alien signal. Fleet Admiral Chris Parker stood on the bridge of the UES Vengeance, leading humanity's first expedition beyond the solar system. The ship was one of 50 in the new Terran Expeditionary Force, built specifically to hunt aliens across the galaxy. "Admiral, we've reached the edge of alien space," reported Captain Laura Brooks from the scout ship UES Hunter. "Long-range sensors are detecting massive bioship formations in the next star system." Parker smiled grimly. The aliens had made a fatal mistake when they marked Earth for harvest. They had awakened something in humanity that had been sleeping since the species first learned to make fire. Now humans were no longer prey. They were predators. "All ships, battle formation," Parker commanded. "It's time to show the galaxy what happens when someone threatens humanity." The human fleet moved through space like a pack of wolves hunting wounded prey. Each ship was designed with lessons learned from fighting the aliens. They were faster, more maneuverable, and carried weapons that could destroy alien bioships with surgical precision. In the alien home system of Zephyr Prime, Harvester Supreme Kethvar received reports of approaching ships with growing terror. The supreme leader of the Zephyrian Empire had ruled for 300 years, conquering worlds across the galaxy. But the humans had done something no other species had ever accomplished. They had followed the aliens home. "How many ships are approaching?" Kethavar demanded from his throne aboard the massive biofortress that orbited the alien homeworld. 50 human vessels, Supreme One," reported his tactical advisor. "But our intelligence suggests each human ship fights with the effectiveness of 10 normal vessels. They have somehow learned to coordinate their attacks perfectly." Kethavar could not understand how creatures he had considered livestock could threaten his empire. The Zephyrians had conquered 47 worlds without ever losing a single battle. Their biotechnology was the most advanced in the galaxy. Their shared consciousness made them perfectly coordinated, but humans fought differently than any species they had encountered. Captain Brooks led the first attack on the alien defense fleet. Her ship, the UES Hunter, was smaller than the alien bioships but moved through space like a dancing blade. The aliens tried to target her vessel, but human ships no longer fought like the predictable enemies they were used to. "Executing attack pattern Omega," Brooks announced to her crew. "Let's show these aliens what human creativity looks like." The UES Hunter dove toward the largest alien ship, then suddenly reversed direction and attacked from below. The alien gunners, expecting a frontal assault, were caught completely off guard. Brooks's ship fired a stream of relativistic projectiles that punched through the bioship's living armor like hot knives through butter. The alien ship died screaming across radio frequencies as its living system shut down. But the real surprise came when the human fleet reached the alien homeworld. Major Pete Clark led the first ground assault in human history against an alien planet. His enhanced combat troops had been training for this moment for months. The aliens expected their homeworld to be safe. They had never imagined that prey species could become hunters capable of invading other worlds. Their planetary defenses were designed to keep enemies away, not to fight invaders who had already landed. "Remember your training," Clark told his soldiers as their landing craft descended toward the alien surface. "These creatures think they're the apex predators of the galaxy. Let's teach them about human determination." The alien world was a nightmare, landscape of living cities and biomechanical factories. Everything on the planet was designed around the concept of organic technology. Buildings breathed, vehicles grew instead of being built, and weapons were bred rather than manufactured. But humans had learned to turn alien technology against itself. Dr. Frank Wilson had spent months developing weapons specifically designed to destroy biotechnology. His virus weapons spread through the alien cities like wildfire, causing their living buildings to turn against their inhabitants. "Target the neural networks," Wilson commanded from his mobile laboratory. "If we can disrupt their planetary consciousness, their entire civilization will collapse." The alien homeworld had never experienced warfare. For thousands of years, it had been protected by fleets that conquered other worlds. The idea that enemies could actually reach their home was inconceivable. Human soldiers moved through alien cities like ghosts, striking at key targets and disappearing before the aliens could respond. They used tactics learned from fighting on Earth, turning the aliens' own environment against them. But the most devastating attack came from space. Admiral Parker had captured several alien bioships intact during previous battles. Dr. Wilson had modified these ships to carry a special payload. Releasing the neural virus now, Parker announced as the captured alien ships approached the planet's main consciousness center. The virus was designed specifically for the Zephyrian shared mind. It spread through their mental network like a plague, causing confusion, panic, and system failures across the entire planet. Within hours, the advanced alien civilization began collapsing as their biotechnology turned against itself. Kethvar watched his empire crumble from his orbital fortress. The creature who had ruled 47 worlds was helpless as humans systematically destroyed everything he had built. "This is impossible," he whispered as reports of defeats reached him from across the galaxy. "We are the superior species. We have conquered worlds for millennia. How can these primitive creatures defeat us?" The answer came in the form of a human broadcast transmitted across all alien communication frequencies. Admiral Parker's voice reached every corner of the Zephyrian Empire. "This is Admiral Chris Parker of the Human Terran Fleet. Your species marked Earth for harvest. You saw humanity as livestock to be processed. You made a fatal error in judgment." The broadcast continued as human fleets appeared in alien star systems across the galaxy. "We are not your prey. We are your replacement. Any alien species that threatens Earth or human colonies will face complete extinction. This is not a warning. This is a promise." On the alien homeworld, Major Clark's forces had reached the planetary capital. The ancient city that had stood for thousands of years was falling to human soldiers who refused to accept defeat under any circumstances. "Sir, we've secured the primary biocomputer," reported one of Clark's sergeants. "The alien command structure is completely destroyed." Clark looked out over the conquered alien city. Creatures that had once been the terror of the galaxy were fleeing in panic from human soldiers. The species that had harvested 47 worlds was being hunted to extinction by prey that had learned to bite back. The war ended not with a great battle, but with the systematic collapse of the Zephyrian Empire. Human fleets appeared in every alien system, liberating conquered worlds and hunting down fleeing alien survivors. The galaxy learned a new truth. Humanity was no longer a species to be harvested. They had become the apex predators of known space, and they were actively hunting any species that threatened peaceful worlds. Dr. Amanda Clark, who had first detected the alien signal, now stood in the ruins of the alien homeworld's main communication center. She activated the transmitter and sent humanity's message to every star system in the galaxy. "This is Earth calling all civilizations. We are humanity. We were marked for harvest by creatures who thought themselves superior. Those creatures no longer exist. Any species that threatens peaceful worlds will share their fate. Earth is protected. Our colonies are protected. Approach in peace or burn in the void. The choice is yours." The message spread across the galaxy at light speed, reaching thousands of worlds and hundreds of species. Predatory civilizations that had been planning their own conquests suddenly found themselves reconsidering their options. Humanity had not just survived their first contact with hostile aliens. They had completely reversed the relationship between hunter and prey. The species that had been marked as livestock had become the galaxy's new apex predator. And every civilization in known space understood one simple truth. When humans were threatened, they didn't just fight back. They hunted their enemies to extinction, and took their place at the top of the galactic food chain. The harvest was over. The hunt had begun.